everybody, welcome in. This is the last game of the first day of the first weekend of mid-season.
Yeah, that's right. That checks out.
I am here, I am Gosaria, and I'm here with the lovely and beautiful, fantastic Lionheart.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
How are you doing?
You guys have seen games today.
Quite a few.
Quite a few.
Quite a few series.
This is the first one we're casting, but we'll be casting more tomorrow.
Yes.
But before we dive in, I think it's good to kind of, ground ourselves, orient where we are in the Gwent world.
Yes, that makes sense. What we can do, we can give you a recap of what's taken place so far today in the 6 series that have taken place out of the 8 taking place today. We're going to take you through one of them. There's another happening at the same time, but I don't think it's being cast anywhere. If it is, I'll happily be corrected and we will let you know where.
For a second, I was thinking we could do like a split screen casting.
Yeah, no, that definitely won't work. That's not going to work. But this is quite new. In terms of its format, mid-season, we've not done this before. So we'll also not just recap the events of the day, but explain a little bit about how the tournament works. Because we've got a bit of time. We're here nice and early, so we can take you through everything, as well as look at the decks we're going to look at.
We're ready.
We are.
We're enjoying Gwent.
Exactly.
Soaking in the event.
Exactly. I mean, the series we're having today, I am so excited for the series as well. Pajabol v Danirai is worthy of a Masters final, let alone first round mid-season first weekend. And when we get to the deck lists, you'll understand why I'm so excited for this. But I think you're right. I think we should give them a bit of an update on what has happened so far this weekend. Are you ready?
So are we starting with the scores first?
Yes, so we'll update you.
Let's go.
So far through the day.
So we've seen Spellingbee versus
Carlito's Way.
Carlito's Way. Thank you very much.
Yes.
So that was a very quick 3-0. Spellingbee won. That's it.
Yeah, Spellingbee through 3-0 here. We'll explain what that means for each of the players in a moment and how the groups work.
Then we saw, we didn't see, but you guys maybe saw.
Yeah.
Magpie versus Puzzle.Express. Puzzle.Express taking it home.
3-1.
3-1.
Yeah, 3-1 victory there for Puzzle.Express.
Then another one was Holdyr versus Mya-Mon.
Yes.
Sadly, Mya-Mon lost.
Yes.
I am slightly biased with this.
Mya-Mon's very unique in terms of his style.
But oh no, that's not the correct permanent.
Ignore the tournament command.
But Mya-Mon is not out yet. We'll explain that in a bit. But that is 3-2 for Holdyr.
Yeah.
Next series was Psycho Kid versus Joe.
Yes, versus Joe. Yeah, that we are reliably informed that translates to Joe.
Yeah. And that was a very quick 3-0.
Another 3-0, yeah. And I think Psycho Kid, you may know as LeGooha from past tournaments. It goes by either, but we'll stick with the names they've given themselves for this specific tournament.
So, and then last season was Lerio.
No, we've got 2 more. This is the 5th.
Lerio and Camps.
Yeah.
Again, Camps winning 3-1.
Yeah, Camps winning 3-1. Both players banning Self-Wound there. A bit of a prevalence of Self-Wound. Not surprised to see them both ban it.
We'll see if it's also, fortune-telling or
maybe
how our series will go.
We will see. And the last series that has already taken place
is Liu M and Kerpenton winning 3-1.
And the one that he lost actually was due to miscuing the incorrect list. So it would potentially have been a 3-0 for him had that not been the case.
Are the decks available anywhere for people to see?
They are! ! Decklist, I believe. ! Decklist, you can grab them. They should, or is it Decklist? Yeah, there you are! ! Decklist. It is in the title as well, so you can very easily grab all of the players' decks right there. There's also a link in our Discord if you want it.
Amazing. So those were the series that happened today. No, you don't need to worry if you've seen your favorite player and you're like, oh my god, they have lost, they're out. That's not true.
No, it's not.
So what was happening is we have 4 groups, and each of the group does its own little thing.
Each group is a mini tournament in itself, effectively.
Yes.
So each of the players within the groups, you can see Group A, B, C, and D, this weekend, they will only face the players in those groups. And only 2 players from each group progress to the big tournament next weekend for the mid-season finals. So, effectively, 8 players are going home this weekend. They will all go home with a cash prize. There is a runners-up prize for each of the players that does go out here, but of course, they are all very keen to go to the big event, not just for the bigger prize, but the chance at qualifying for Masters as well.
So from here, we get 8 people, and those 8 people then compete for one place at
Just
Masters. So this weekend is really important in knowing who is the person, who are the 8 people qualifying for the next weekend of mid-season. The important thing also is they cannot change decks.
No, it's huge. That's a big deal. The decks they're playing this weekend are the decks they're taking next weekend too. So while they might have some strange or unfortunate matchups now, if they can get through, they will, as a result, take those into next weekend where they may match up slightly better. Equally, they all have a full week to scrim against each other's lists, which is pretty huge.
Amazing.
But in terms of how the groups play out, well, this is how it looks. Today's games are what you can see on the left, Game 1 and Game 2. And the idea in the group is if you win 2 games, you are through. If you lose 2 games, you are out.
Yep.
So, the winners of the first round of games that you've just seen, we've just taken you through them, they are going to progress to what are called winners games tomorrow. If they win those winners games, off to mid-season they go.
So yeah, if you're, for example, Carpenter, who has already won, if you won today and you win tomorrow, you're off to next weekend.
Superb.
If you are Carpenter and you lose,
you go through into a tiebreaker.
And that will be another series with a winner of the losers bracket.
That's right. So the people who've lost today, they are not out yet. They go down into losers bracket series. They get the chance to fight for a chance at the tiebreaker. They will, if they win that series, they will progress on to a third series, but 2 losses and you are out.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty a lot going on, and it's
really
it's very different than the normal tournaments that you have in Gwent. In theory, oh wow, I'm only playing 3 series over the weekend. Great. But it really is a lot more complex than that when you consider how big losing in this can be and how hard it is to target lineups for such a small group of players.
And how tight it is going to be after mid-season trying to qualify for Masters.
Massively, yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. But we have one more thing to show you.
So we also, if you go into Gwent,
into the Shoop store, Shoop shop.
Then you can buy either this card bag or the board.
Yeah, one of my favourite boards.
Yeah, mine too. Both of them are available right now.
Yes.
And 50% of all of the revenue goes into...
Yes, it goes towards the grand prize next weekend. So it will still count all the way up till Friday next week, I believe. If you purchase one of these, you help support the total prize pool and Gwent esports in general. And 2 of my all-time favourites.
Gwent esports.
Yes, the last season officially of Gwent esports. So anything you buy of these 2 items, half of that cost will go straight into the prize pool, which is amazing. They've been doing things like this for a little while, and these are 2 of my all-time favourites. So if you don't have them yet, do consider going to grab them, because it's going to be amazing. Now, you haven't seen us for a while. So hello.
We're still here.
We are still here, and as we mentioned, we have got a series for you. Oh my.
So we are going to see Pajabol.
Yes.
And Danirai.
Yes.
We actually have some trivia info about the players.
Bit of info.
We didn't have some decks info, and I know you interviewed the players a bit.
I had a quick chat with both of them just to see where their heads were and what they were thinking, get some insight into how they were feeling. Yeah, of course.
So we're gonna get into that, but I think you all know Pajabol. You know,
I think you should all know both of them, honestly.
Yeah,
you know.
I was trying to start with it.
Let's go.
It's a former Gwent master.
Yes, the world champion. Yeah, has been in the past.
So, that's just how it is. That's who he is. I don't think you need to introduce him anymore.
Yeah.
Danirai is the vice champion. So, you know,
Runner-up last year.
Runner-up, he's right there. And he's also recently opened his own YouTube channel called Dani2 Based.
Yes.
And he's teaching Polish there.
Yeah, practical Polish, usable Polish, which is really interesting. So maybe go and check that out if you want to try and learn some Polish.
Check that out.
Aha.
Check and
Oh
make.
dear. Yes, indeed. In terms of the results and brackets, there isn't a fully functioning one, so we have given you all of the results, and we will post all of them into Discord at the end of the day. If we can get hold of a challenge version or something, we will, of course.
Moshcraft has made one,
Yeah,
but it's floating somewhere
We
over.
will try and get a hold of it, and we will share that with you guys as well, because the actual bracket, it works so strangely that neither Gwent's website or Challenge can properly show you how this functions, which is really interesting. But these are two players who know each other very well. They helped each other prep for the last Masters even. They did not prep together for this tournament though, and it shows a little in their lineups. It's always really awkward when two players prep together and then
face each other, right?
Because you always know that's a chance, of course, because you're hoping you both get to the final, but it always tends to hit first round. We saw it a lot. I saw it in World Masters between Paya and Cybers, the eventual winner, who had very similar lists and had sort of half prepped together, and then ended up that Cybers had sort of teched ready for it, and it worked really well for him. It can be a very, very interesting scenario, but
Indeed.
we have got
Two
great players. We have their deck lists.
We don't have the bands yet.
Bands and coin flips aren't in, but as soon as they are, we will let you know. And we're around half an hour out from the series beginning in terms of us being able to cast it, because it's probably live any minute in real terms. So,
do we want to check the decks then?
Let's take a look at the decks to start with, and I think we'll start with Pajabol. Why not indeed?
So, Pajabol. What is he bringing? So, the first one is, when I thought about it after we prepped, I think this is the Paya Talent Syndicate. That's how you have to call it. That's the secret ingredient. It's not crime.
No.
The secret ingredient in here is talent.
Yes.
So it's off the book Syndicate. And why I'm saying that you need talent for this, it's that there is really no consistency.
No, very, very little. Tutors, no. Thinning, no. And one of the things, this list is very, very strong. It has a good polarization of provisions, and it works really well. The difficulty can be, you just have to know your matchups. You have to play very effectively with the hand you're dealt. Multiple types of removal. You've got Morilsi, you've got Horson Jr. in there. You've got so many points from St. Gregory when it drops, or Siggy Royven, but you need to be willing to actually understand the best line available to you at the time. It can be, as a result, a ban target, because it can just flatly win certain matchups. And we'll talk about the matchups between the two players' lists once we've looked through them, but it's a really interesting take. Paya is one of the very best players I've ever seen in Gwent at making the best and taking unconventional lines. So I'm not shocked to see him bring a list like this.
Yeah, definitely. But at the same time, we'll see if our opponent wants to face it at all.
Yeah,
you know?
true.
So then Paya is bringing Ayaka Swarm. That's not that swarmy, actually.
No.
It brings a lot of the new cards in, like Hive Mind, like Acid Spit, and the Stalker.
It does.
So that's a lot of new things that maybe we haven't seen that much in tournaments, because they're recent. We've seen them in.
They've been making more and more appearances, but they are new in the last card drop for sure. This is a very aggressive and quite greedy list, very blue coin heavy, right? It's all about, as you say, getting the value, getting the Ida down, multiplying the Ida, because it doesn't swarm in a typical Arrakis swarm sense.
No.
But it does swarm lots of nice Idas to bring back with your Witch's Sabbath, and then pair it off with my favourite card that I've ever revealed, the Kikimor Stalker. It is so good. It seems like the unicorn is desperately trying to deafen you all regularly on that. It just likes it, okay? It just likes it, but damn, it's pretty. And as I say, this is a very aggressive list. It can be very greedy, but great into certain matchups across this meta. If you can't get through the defender and destroy that Ida, you could be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. And then third deck is something more known, or something that we're more used to from Leather as well, and that is Self-Wound Swallowblood.
Yes.
So that's the usual, Swallowblood with Newt and Sigvald kind of combo. The interesting tech, and I'm sure you'll tell more about it, is the Xavier here.
Yes.
I'm just not sure it finds that many targets, but
we shall find out.
Maybe later on, if Paya makes it to the next weekend, that will be very crucial.
Yeah, and it's a common tournament tech in certain metas because lots of lists play into and around the graveyard. Self-Wound's one of them. If you build and develop a nice massive Melusine, or you have to commit Sigvald or Knut in round 1, it doesn't matter because you can revive them, you can bring them back. But old Xavier Lemons says no. He can also be awkward. If Payabol's Nature's Gift list were the same list his opponent was running, oh boy, it would hate it because you of course would get rid of all of those brilliant things in the graveyard, those extra equinoxes and things like that, and it becomes problematic. The same again if he's thinking someone's bringing Araka Swarm. Oh, you want to play Witch's Sabbath? No. But it is again an interesting list. It can be really awkward for some matchups. Self-Wound we've seen a lot of players bring, and I'm not surprised based on its strength. I will be not attempting to do Svalblood maths. I'm going to put that out there now. If it comes down to can Svalblood catch, the answer is maybe.
Yeah. The Svalblood math is very simple. It's pew, everything dies.
Pretty much. Is it enough? Well, who knows?
Who knows? We'll see.
But it's a really interesting list, a really powerful list. You'll notice he's teching Heatwave in a lot of his decks, which makes sense, including the next one.
Yes, which, if you look at it, is the Nature's Gift Scoia'tael. And if you do the math, you don't have to, because we do it for you, you will figure out that there are only 11 nature cards, and that is precisely because Paya has decided to bring Heatwave as well.
Yes.
And I'm excited for this, I am. It is almost as good as my Chunky Dryad. Nearly. This is the very greedy version of the current Symbiosis, because you have Alisa and Spring Equinox, so...
Double Elven Seer,
so you're just looking to... Greed.
Yeah, even in this list, I think it's possible to play Equinox 8 times potentially, or 8 lots of Spring Equinox. So greedy. It's all about value, and it's basically saying, I don't want to deal with your control. Thank you very much.
Yes.
It's a really interesting one.
We already have bans for Paya, so maybe while we're here, we could tell you.
Yeah.
The deck that we're not going to see is the Araka Swarm.
So Monsters has been banned here. That's interesting. I know, because when I spoke to the players yesterday, Danirai mentioned he was swaying towards banning Araka Swarm, but he wasn't sure.
Well, he clearly became sure overnight, and Paya is not bringing that. And also, Paya will be coming on Red Coin.
Oh, Paya is Red Coin, which means Danirai is blue, and we can show you his deck lists.
Let's go. So, I will start by saying, sadly, we get to cast Cultist.
Oh no, he was sure. He thought Paya would ban this.
So, we will see Cultist. Amazing. I just need to lower the sound here as well, unless otherwise we'll get deafened.
You just muted the PC.
Yeah, that's alright. There we go. So Paya banned the Swallowblood.
Yeah, so Paya has decided no self-wound for you. And that one's an interesting one. That's an interesting line to have taken. We'll get into why, potentially, in a little while. It is one of the strongest lists, one of the most awkward for anybody to deal with, which is why he has decided to take that as a ban.
But let's have a look at what wasn't banned.
Yes.
Cultists.
Oh, boy. Oh, it's Cultists, and I was hoping that we wouldn't see it. And you can see both Paya and Danirai, albeit different lists, And yes, it's cute that they took as their choice of cards. They were actually the two, the Unicorn and the Chironex. You love to see it. But the first one is this Imperial Formation version of Cultists. It's a super greedy overall lineup and it's one of the greediest decks in Gwent, let's be honest, because if you can't deal with those initiates and those deacons early on, you are in for a world of pain, because this list can flip 100 points in a turn as quickly as you can blink towards the end of the game. The engine value in making absolutely everything a cultist, infusing your opponents and their units, and then, well, bringing them into the cult, smashing them down over and over again until they spawn on your side of the board, but boosted by every cultist over and over and over again. It's
a cult nightmare.
Pretty much. It is a terrifying list. You've got a bit more consistency into this one as well, so it's not the greediest version. A Neuromancy, Dandelion Poet, which as a gold that plays a card in this list can be petrifying value, but even the Arcane Tome to guarantee you find the Neuromancy, especially with that Curse Scroll, looking to make sure that he doesn't lose with this on the basis of missing those key cards in the early rounds. You're absolutely fine to drop the scenario early with this deck. It's all about creating and generating that pseudo carryover, round control, and yikes, this one can be terrifying.
Yikes indeed. Well, I can't wait to cast this.
Yeah.
Then we're skipping Swole Blood.
Yeah, and so that's been banned.
Very similar to Swole Blood in general.
Yeah, it's
few little changes, but different flavor, same thing.
Yeah.
But then Danirai decided to bring mobilization, Reavers.
Yes.
Honestly,
It is quite the interesting choice. If you're looking for the decks, it is deck list, not deck lists, and you will find them. But it's a different version of Reavers. It's an evolved version that includes Temple of Melitele as well.
No, I did not need Reavers to evolve.
I need them to evolve away. This is quite the lineup from Danirai. He's going for the villain arc, I can see. I can tell you how Reavers works. You play a Reaver and then you multiply them and then you keep doing it and then you keep doing it.
It's almost like Danirai just likes this, cultists,
yeah, pretty much.
More cultist Reavers, more Reavers.
I mean, it does work. It's an awkward one for Danirai, and it's an interesting choice. He has just taken the one Reaver Scout, but he's teched in a Will-o'-the-Wisps. Now, hasn't really found a target for Will-o'-the-Wisps here on the basis that it's really awkward. It can be amazing if you're facing someone that's running Tier, or perhaps you're queuing into players playing Harmony instead of Gift, and you can immediately get rid of Dana. It can be a really cute little tech. Hasn't gone that way, and instead has gone super greedy at the top end with that Temple of Melitele, running Ansace as well, that you can boost with Temple to guarantee great toll removal. Still has a Heat Wave, and about 4,712 ways to spawn a Reaver. The difficulty for Danirai with this list is going to be Self-Wound loves this list. It really does. Mobilization and Reavers in general struggle against Nature's Gift too, and if Pajabol can draw his cards with Syndicate, it's pretty favoured as well. That is going to be the list that Danirai absolutely wants to get through for me. It's a big moment if he gets that list through, because the three it's an awkward series for him every way up with that list. As powerful and as annoying as it can be, you can, in some instances, just flatly ignore the Reavers with some of these matchups and still be okay. So, will that be the case? Can Danirai get it through? Well, we'll find out reasonably soon, but there is one more list to go yet.
I don't know why Squirtle's always the last one.
It's just sheer coincidence.
Are we sure? But I don't like this.
Yeah.
By the way, Nature's Gift Symbiosis, again, very similar to what Paya's bringing. The few interesting choices is the Saskia, it's kind of mid-rangey thing. Only one Elven Seer here. Otherwise, also 11 nature cards, not 12, because Danirai has also decided to bring Heat Wave. Otherwise, you probably have seen this. Yeah. You all probably,
It's less greedy than the rest of the lineup. It's
True.
Not about the Alyssa. It's not about replaying as many as possible here, unlike some of the other lists that you'll see, and certainly like Pyre's. It's more of a value and just beat you kind of list.
And I think, that kind of takes away the stress of having to set up Alisa. It's a little, for me at least, it's a little less stress, easier to just kind of do whatever you need to do in case you didn't draw what.
Maybe. I mean, it has less points overall, but it's got more mid-range value with things like the Saskia. And you can kind of try and find your value. The double rebuke is nice. And using the Naiad fledglings and the Pond Keepers is trying to give you that extra engine value. They've decided to go with the greed strategy.
Yeah.
Gotta respect it. It's going to be a really, really curious set.
So Danirai is coming on blue coin.
Yeah.
We know that his SK is banned.
Yeah.
And Payabol's monsters are banned. We now have approximately 20 minutes till the game starts.
We do, and we do have the visual bug for game 1, so players' names we will have to add in for you. We will not see leader abilities, so I hope... Actually, none of them are too bad, leader ability-wise. We can kind of count.
Pajabol. Syndicate. Off the books.
Off the books, yeah, okay, so off the books could be... But we'll try and keep count of them for you. It is just for game 1, and we will take a look at that. But let's take you back so that you can see us. Hello. So this is going to be quite the series. We've got the bands, we've got the coins. We know that Danirai is blue. We know that Paya is red. For me, Danirai's series is going to come down to getting those Reavers through, because the lineup is really awkward for him to get those through. Both of them have gone super greedy. He will be trying to sneak that win, I think, into the Syndicate match. That's what I'm expecting him to do, because that Syndicate list, if it doesn't draw well, it's in trouble. But Paya is the very best at making good of a bad situation. So I'm really intrigued. Every deck that they've bought has one great matchup and one terrible matchup, typically. So both players were unsure entirely about what they were going to ban last night. Usually they're pretty nailed on the day before, but they were both quite open, saying, I honestly don't really know which way I want to go with this yet.
Interesting.
Which is quite unusual. Because of the nature of this series. We've had the most recent set of balance changes and things we've had within Gwent. You've got there are some matchups as a result in the meta that will feel very rock paper scissors simplifies it a bit too much, but I need to face this, I need to avoid this, I must be here, and more than ever I would say last say is absolutely crucial in almost every one of these matchups. But as you can see, so cultists, well, against super greed with no removal, so for instance, they can absolutely run riot. But equally, if those things get removed early on, you're in trouble. Self wound, fantastic against Reavers because it just absorbs those pings and says, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And can be really awkward for them to take on. It's a really weird balance. I've not seen two lineups like this that are so well matched but awkward for each other in my memory, honestly.
If you were the players, you're really thinking, what do I do?
Yeah.
Because it feels like a invisible chess match when they're trying to play it out.
Yeah.
But it all also depends on what the other person does, and then you end up not doing anything.
Yeah, and
it's kind of.
There's so much, right? There's just so much to this, and across the lineups from the weekend, I expected quite a few people to go greedy. I expected to see greed, and a couple of people try hyper control. Because of the format of this, you only need to win 2 series, and into super greed, you might just get there. The only issue with that is, will you win the full tournament next weekend with the same lists? It's why you've seen a few people hedge their bets or go more into greed. And this, honestly, is going to be one of the series of the whole year, I think, between these two. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing them face each other. Obviously, they know each other very well, and every decision's going to matter here in terms of what do they take when. It's not just the bans, which we've seen. Paya doesn't have Araka Swarm, Danirai doesn't have Self Wound. It's going to be can I get the matchup I want or avoid the one that I don't? And that's going to be super difficult. Danirai is going to want to bring those cultists into Nature's Gift, but may end up missing that because they both are equally aware of this. They know each other well, they know these matchups well, and they have scrimmed them. So it's going to be 5D chess here, effectively, to try and work out, well, which way am I going with this?
And yet again, if you just joined, there is a lot on the line.
Yes.
Because this is the last Masters in December.
Yes, it is.
There are a few ways to qualify for Masters, obviously. But this is one of them that will just set it for you into the stone until December. And if I imagine that, if you are now qualified for Masters, you suddenly have 4 months for sure to just prep. You don't need to stress about, I need to win and qualify top 16, top 64. That's all gone for you. You don't need to worry at all for the rest of the year. So qualifying for Masters now brings you so much extra time to just prep.
Yes.
So for that one person, that's it. But it kind of feels like so much extra work because you need to win twice today, at least twice, and then win the entire tournament next weekend to qualify. Because there is only one person qualifying.
Yes.
From the entire mid-season.
The entire of mid-season, one person qualifies. One person with the most crown points over the year also qualifies. After that, it's going to be everybody. You've got 12 more places, right? 12 more places are going to be up for grabs in 3 months, which is pretty huge, honestly. Pretty huge.
So
it's
big thing
winning
today.
This is big.
And anyway, just so you know, this is the last series today. The Canary
Mistikal
stream, Kaneki, sorry, it's not being casted anywhere.
I don't believe so.
At least we're not aware of it.
I'll see if I can find it anywhere, but I don't think it's being cast.
Can you ask maybe in the Discord if
I'll
it's
do
being
that now.
cast? And just so you know, we can tell you what the bands were, because you guys have access to the Decklists.
Yeah.
So in the Mistikal and Kaneki, so Mistikal is not bringing their SK deck, and Kaneki will not be bringing the Northern Realms.
Oh yeah, so that was Shub Erland, I think.
Yes. So that game is starting in 10 minutes or so.
Yeah. And we will keep you up to date with the scores.
I will keep you updated.
Right?
I will ask in the Discord if it's being casted somewhere that we're not aware of, so we can tell you. Otherwise, and that's gonna happen in between our series.
Yes, it's happening at the same time as our series. We are casting Pajabol Danirai. I don't believe the other series is being cast. But we will find out for you. If it's not, we will keep you updated on those scores as well. We are about 10 minutes out now from the series getting underway for us to be able to take you through it. So I'm going to take us to the deck screen and see if we can make an educated guess about what they're going to bring on to start us off. So, we mentioned Danirai is on blue coin, is that correct?
Yes, Danirai is on blue coin.
Okay.
And cannot bring Swallblood.
Yeah, so he does not have Self-Wound. All of his lists can play onto blue coin reasonably well. Reavers don't, none of them hate either one. Now, the Imperial formation, he's brought Curse Scroll. That tells me he's very keen to ensure he has that stratagem, feels it's a blue coin list. He wants to make sure he draws well, whether it is the Aneromancy, the Arcane Tome, the Eternal Eclipse, whatever it is that he decides he needs in that round one to really push home. I think he's going to try and cue that on blue. Whether it's straight away or not, it's going to come down to that little bit of mind sort of dancing around effectively. Because if he does cue that to try and get it through, Paya probably avoids bringing his gift in that moment. Instead, he will look to take something else and try and squeeze it through on red coin. He doesn't have his Arrakis Swarm. His Self-Wound isn't a terrible matchup into that. It could also just try to go for the off the books because he's reasonably strong into mobilization across. It's going to be tough. It's so hard.
For Danirai, the option is simpler. Oh, like blue coin could be the cultist, like you said, with the curse scroll. That is more obvious choice. But would you want to make the obvious choice and therefore letting Pajabol tech against it?
And that's the difficulty, right? That's the difficulty, because if you pick the wrong thing first, you end up not having the matchups you need later.
Okay.
You know, and it's really difficult. It's a really difficult choice here, because if he does get through and he says, no problem, I've managed to get my cultists through here, amazing, well, he doesn't really have a good answer for gift. In terms of the mirror, it's a difficult one because he's less greedy. Mobilization will struggle into all of the lists, so it's a real challenge here. It's going to be really interesting what version of 5D chess these gentlemen play with each other. We aren't too far away.
We're almost there.
We're almost there. So I will give you a quick recap of
the info. That would be amazing.
Yeah, the info so far. So let's show you the first 6 series of the day just before we get ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
So, first series of the day. Spellingbee 3-0'd Carlito's Way. Both banned monsters, and it came down to a quick win for Spellingbee. His lists are a different strategy, very mid-rangey, very traditional from Spellingbee, but equally, he literally just won World Masters playing that kind of way. So, fair play. It's working so far against Carlito's Way's more control-heavy lists. Next up, Puzzle.Express, taking out the legend that is Magpie, 3-1 here in the first set for them. Remember, losing does not automatically eliminate you right now. You have to lose 2 series. This is all of these players first. Next, Holdyr, 3-2 over Mya-Mon, close 4 series. And Mya-Mon, he was 2-0 up here and just could not get my favourite list. My absolute favourite list, that Poison Ball, lost 3 times and he got reverse swept. You hate to see it. Then it was LeGooha or Psycho Kid, 3-0 over Joe.
Joe?
Yeah,
Yes.
Joe. It is Joe.
It's Joe.
It's no wonder I struggle with languages if that's Joe, but we are reliably told that player does go by Joe. Probably just for my convenience, honestly, so thank them for that.
Maybe after I've renamed few people into Cat Burgers and Cat Bloggers.
True. Yeah, that's fair.
Joe is so much easier.
It is.
Then we had Lirio and Cam's taking home 3-1.
Yes.
And then last series is Leo M and Carpenten. Taking it home 3-1 as well.
So
the only loss was a technical loss for Carpenten.
It was. He queued the wrong list.
Yes.
So these are the groups, and you can see those players who have faced off against each other within their groups will not again. They will face the other players within their groups who either won or lost respectively.
Yes. And again, this is the last series of today. Maybe show us the plan. Perfect.
Yes.
So today, game 1 and game 2 were the only games that were happening.
Yes.
So we are now finishing them with Danirai and Pajabol.
Yes, we are.
Kaneki vs Mistikal is sadly not being casted anywhere.
Okay.
We are now ready for split screen casting, but we will update you on how that game is going. That's just what happened, sadly, and we will tell you how that series is progressing in the breaks between our games, because they will happen basically at the same time.
Yes, we will keep an eye on it. We will update you, and in the event that our series goes 3-0 and that one continues, we will even switch over to it.
If it's super fast with Paya, and Danirai, for some reason we're just 3-0 and go home, we'll swap and try and cast as much as we can for you.
Yeah.
But either way, all of the winners today go into the winners bracket.
Yeah.
If they win there again, they're through. And all of the losers today do not go home yet.
No.
And they will go into the losers bracket, and a winner from the losers bracket then goes into the tiebreaker where they face the loser from the winner bracket.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
And the winner from there
does a sack race on alternate Sundays. Yes, that's a basketball reference. So it is complicated, but the flow chart simplifies it, right?
Each group gets you 2 winners, and those 2 winners go and qualify into the next weekend.
They do indeed. And one final thing, of course,
Yes.
is the Gwent esports bundles that are currently available.
Okay, so as you know, each time there's a big esports event, there is something how you can support it as well. So currently it is this card back and the board. If you buy those, 50% of the profit goes into the prize pool for mid-season.
Yes, that's correct. So if you haven't got these yet, we absolutely love both of these. They are available, and you're going to get a good amount of support into Gwent esports for literally the grand prize for this tournament, the one that's happening this weekend into next. The players who do go out tomorrow, that will be 8 of the 16. They also are all receiving, I believe it's. I'm not sure. I think it's $1,000 each. I'm not sure, but I think it's $1,000 each for getting to this stage. The others all progress through to the big mid-season tournament as well. So we love that.
As here,
We're back.
6 minutes away from the
Yes.
first game. I just want, I was just thinking, I'm really excited to be here.
Me too.
Gwent is still amazing. And it's great to be here.
Yes.
I'm also very emotional today, so if I accidentally shed a tear, it's alright, Chad. Don't worry about it. It's not too bad. But I'm really excited to do this. I'm always happy when we can stream and cast together.
Yes, we love doing it.
And we will be here tomorrow for 2 series as well, which is also very, very great. And then hopefully we'll maybe give you some news about some community tournaments that will be happening after these big events for esports.
Yes, that's right. That anybody can try and sign up for. We've been running them each month for the last 3 or 4 months. They've been fantastic, and lots of different people have got involved. We've all watched Gwent esports, and it's so different to play in a tournament than it is to play on ladder. It's really, really enjoyable. We're going to reveal the dates after our cast tomorrow, hopefully, so that we can get people ready to sign up. And really looking forward to this. As you mentioned, we're live for 2 series tomorrow, both 4 p.m. and 7.
7
4 and 7 will be live.
The 7 p.m. one should be on my channel.
That's right. That is right. In fact, I think it'll be easy so you can find us there. What we'll do, obviously, the first series at 4 will be live here. We will then raid into Arya's channel.
Which is always a little wonky.
It can be, because we're on the same screen.
We're on the same PC, not just the same screen.
True!
We're on the same PC, so as you raid, we change the account and start a new stream. It's like a whole thing, but we'll do it.
I'm confident.
We'll manage. We're confident, excited to cast. Maybe we'll do a quick costume change as well.
Maybe.
Behind the screen.
It'll be great. We'll have like a Batman thing and everything. We are 4 minutes out now. What I'm going to do, we know Danirai's blue coin, correct?
Yes.
So, when we flip over, we have got the visual bug that anybody who's watched the Gwent tournament before will be familiar with in the first series. It tends to happen a lot. That visual bug is that neither player's names or leaders are visible for game 1. We will obviously see what they're queuing in. We will try our best to keep track of it. For those of you who want to try and use the Observer, these games are on delay, so Gwent's Observer doesn't work. Equally, we don't have access to that graveyard. Yeah,
so we don't see graveyard or the rest of the deck. We're just kind of at mercy of what we see.
It's kind of acoustic Gwent. Right, we're all very spoiled in Gwent. We love to see it, right?
Acoustic Gwent.
Acoustic Gwent. No overlays, no deck, no graveyard access. It's fine. It's like the old days, and you love to see it. But I will be frantically adding the players' names so that you guys can still visually see. At least I will do my best to get those up very quickly as soon as I see the card flip over. We're about to start the series. We've got 2 minutes.
And the other one is starting in a minute.
Yes.
So we'll try and update you on that one. And like we said, hopefully cast it as well.
If it's still going. Yeah, we will. And when we get score updates, we will provide those to you as well. Okay? We will do our very best. Can't wait.
As always.
Of
we
course.
always do our best. Maybe give me Shoop.
Shoop. Oh,
Shoop is
okay,
here to
so
do
I'm
his
gonna
best
flip us
as well.
over. Ready.
Boom! Ready!
Yeah.
Let's go.
So we're going to go into gameplay here. So the Kaneki game, unfortunately, this is here and it is...
Kaneki game's nowhere.
Yeah, it unfortunately is not being cast We weren't aware of this until literally just now, I'm afraid.
So sadly, that's how it is.
Yeah, but we will give you updates on it the entire time. And if this series finishes before that series, we will then flip over to that series for you, so that we can see that. Also, a big thank you to anybody who is following. All of our alerts are off right now so that we can concentrate on the cast as well. So thank you for that. Yeah. There we go. Let me move that away. Okay. We are here. We are in. And the players are about to get started. This is Pajabol versus Danirai. Danirai going in on blue coin. Is he going to cue the expectation? Are those Reavers? No, Reavers? I don't think it'll be those. I think it could be the cultists that he cues. How will Paya respond? Is he going to jam that syndicate list and go, I can take you? It's going to be this is going to be such a hard-fought, super tense tournament. I think they're going to take their time with these decisions. Watch this be Blitz Gwent now. But I believe this is going to be one of the best series we see in quite some time. Yeah. I certainly hope so, and we're going to do our best.
They're amazing Gwent players,
yeah,
both
superb.
of them. It's like, the top of the line Gwent. You're not going to see this anywhere else. Back the Masters again, I think. Honestly.
Yeah, former world champion. Yep. Former runner-up, came literally the most recent season, came second in Gwent World Masters last season. Danirai was confident. He said, I'm going to win next year, and so far has played amazingly. So we shall see. It is literally 30 seconds. In fact, no, it's less. We are here.
Let's go.
We'll wait for that visual bug to resolve itself, and we can go from there. So, but there will be series for Kaneki cast tomorrow, I believe. Don't worry, and we will... lots of places, games and series are being cast, including with us. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Here we go.
Let's go. So
Paya's on blue.
Paya's on blue?
I thought you...
Wait, let me check. Let me just check.
Oh no, Pajabol is blue.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
Okay, so Pajabol is on blue, and Danirai is in fact the other way around. So all of our speculation completely wrong.
Out of the window.
Okay, that's okay. So no wonder they have queued different lists. So you thought you had information. In fact, no, it's the complete opposite. Never mind. Paya opens up with this self-wound list, and Danirai here has his gift. Decent opening hand for Danirai up on red coin. Paya has access. That's not a terrible open for him. Has the Herald.
And that's slightly easier for us leader-wise when we don't see them, so that's hopefully okay.
Yeah, we just need to keep track of the Nature's Gift charges and the ping. So unfortunately, we will do our best to try and keep track of those charges.
So I'll just repeat the information about Kaneki game again. Sadly, it is not being casted anywhere. It was supposed to, but it's not. If we can, if it's still going after our series is finished, we will do our best to cast it.
Yeah.
We will provide you the information about the series, what the score is, but you will definitely see Kaneki tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll see a series somewhere.
We'll check it, but yeah, sadly it is not being casted.
No. So if you do see someone ask in chat, feel free to share that with them. So far, Paya has picked this really nicely. It's a really strong matchup for him as Gift. Against Gift rather, he's pretty happy. Svalblood is going to do great work here. He's going to get good, strong value. There is a heat wave on Danarai's side, but it is in the deck. He hasn't got access to it so far. So we can go from there. We are going to see... So it's a strong enough position on red coin, but last say matters so much right now in this version of Gwent. It's so difficult to keep it where it is and to not just give this... Oh, that's interesting.
Another visual bug.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I'm hoping with this they'll jump in and out of the deck. If you ever get this visual bug, go into your own deck and it will disappear. I'm a little surprised. So nice try. He's protected his own Herald here instead of trying to greed the engine value there on the Berserker. Interesting choice. The Herald saving his own self-wound pings for later could be really crucial to get max value on that Svalblood. Of course, it's open deck list. The players
Yeah.
know full well what is coming, right?
So while Danirai has technically access to Heatwave, it's not right now. So we have no way of removing any other cards, correct?
Nope. And it's an important one to have access when you need it. Paya can commit the hand he has to some extent. For instance, he's committing the Svalbard now, and I don't blame him because you can bring it back. Not being able to remove this with a Heatwave to deny that later could end up being huge here in Paya's favour.
Because Danirai has the Naiads that do damage based on the tree value, but that doesn't mean anything here really anymore. No. So you're just trying to get more points now. Yeah,
and Pajabol does have a pass should he wish to take it. I don't imagine he will, but he could decide to take himself out here. Alternatively, he could use Harold and a leader charge to make that proc once again. It's going to be an interesting choice. Can just play the bronze, that berserker.
Yeah, that's alright, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, just holds it up. Is he going to use those? There it is. Okay. Spawns another, and when one of those changes, it is... Oh, and he uses the leaders to spawn. Oh, boy. Yeah, Paya saying, I want this round, and you are not going to stay here.
Swabble is so much fun, though.
It's...
I can't do the math, ever.
Nobody can, don't worry.
But it's so much fun.
It really is. Now, on Danarai's side, it's a bit awkward. He's got 2 golds that he does not want to commit. Remember, he obviously is Simless for those, huge, powerful nature cards, but he can't get them back. There's no Alyssa in his list. Gord is small. He is a small boy.
No. He's too short to kick your ass right now.
He's not able to deal with anything.
Second Naiad makes no sense.
And he can't reach in 2 without committing the Simless.
Yeah.
That's really awkward for him because, again, losing round control here puts him in firmly in Pajabol's sights in this first round. Is he gonna... He does go on. He's saying, I have the reach. And we know he does, of course, with that Simless, but... He doesn't realise Paya has just got Misk bronzes that he can play here, which for him feels fantastic.
Yeah, because Paya probably doesn't mind committing the other Mandrome as well.
No.
Meanwhile, Danirai minds. The other Naiad is okay, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
And committing Simless.
So Simless here is...
let me just check. Danirai... Is Danirai also carrying 2 Bountifuls? No.
No, he's... No.
No. Because Pajabol brought 1 Bountiful, but Danirai is not bringing any.
No Bountiful Harvest for him there. But he's saying, I'm still going to be here. He's not going away. He has reasonable... It's really tough, because the leader charges, I believe he's still got at least 2, would allow him to do it, but Paya's hand here, and he's just trading bronzes. He's just going to be able to play another Mardrum here and be very, very content.
Yes.
So it's a difficult one.
Definitely. It's a difficult one for Danirai, not for
Paya. Paya's so happy with the way this round is currently going.
Yes.
The only side, it's a really good matchup for him into other lists, but honestly, he will be happy to get through and progress. From Danarai's side, he's aware that you're never passing in this situation because there's always the ability to catch, while that Simless would be a massive amount. So he absolutely has to win this round. I can see him potentially playing on here even now at the expense of using that Simless. Because he needs to win this round. It's really rough for him in this situation. And he's currently playing that through his head. He's going, what... If Gord Plus isn't enough, and here it is, he is going to do it. He is going to play right now.
Could you possibly go for the weather? But the weather's not enough. So
no, you're also bricking later. Your Tempest as well.
So it needs to be Spring Equinox.
Yeah. So now Danirai is going on the aggressive, and it puts Pajabol into a spot where actually his hand has gone from being great to potentially losing on even, but
then again, we just do the pew pew.
It's going to be a restore, which is pretty big. Keeps himself just ahead with the 10, so it needs 11. But he may end up now not winning this round as a result, because Paya, that's big for Danirai. Hasn't given up, potentially went from losing the game by passing to winning on even. Absolutely huge. Is committing Simless too much?
So what I'm thinking, Danirai, can the way for Danirai to progress now be just play whatever to bleed as much as possible?
Potentially.
Because Simlas is gone.
It depends. With the hand that he's looking at pulling right now, he probably 2 zeros.
Okay.
Pajabol's hand is not looking amazing here so far. He has not found much of what he's looking for. Because Danirai is in a strong spot now. There was no guarantee that was going to pay off, right? There was no guarantee it was going to work. But now, he could just get there. We can't see the size of the gourd. I don't believe it's huge,
like
but it's going to be okay.
At tops, right?
Yeah, and Paya offers a pass here. Says, you know what? If you want to take it and have the longer round, let's do it.
And at the same time, so let's have a look at what Paya has, right? Paya has 4 points in Vial.
7.
7.
If he plays it now, it's 7.
And then Grimace, that's just 6 points as it is.
Completely useless.
And the biggest thing that he can bring with Reed is
Svalblood. Yeah.
Right?
Because he hasn't found any of the other things, and that in pure points alone here is terrifying for Paya. He is in a really tough spot. Obviously, he does have his leader as well, but it's going to be quite an uphill battle for Paya here. It went from round 1, because it is a massive commitment, but this looks like it'll be a 2-0. He drew better effectively, and that, is how it goes.
Because from Paya's perspective, if Danarai's hand wasn't able to catch up, that would have been amazing for a Pajabol.
Yeah.
But because Danirai decided to commit, we're suddenly here.
Yes. And that's going to be the question. I think we might get... We
Tempest.
do get the weather here, and it is fog. Now, fog hits the lowest unit. So fog is actually going to give him some value here initially.
Yeah.
But
see, and that,
how big is the gourd?
I would say 8 tops right now.
But that means it's 11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
This...
Let's see, so it's 3, 9.
Okay, so plus 9, 10, 11. Can he, with leader, can he catch here?
And that's what we were talking about. This series in general is so unpredictable.
Oh boy, and I am not... I told you, I don't do Svalblood maths. Now, Danirai had to go for the 2-0 there. The push was not incorrect. And his line in round 1 is the only one he can take. But now, this is looking pretty awkward. So... Yeah, it's not what you're looking for. It is not... Although there's still some decent points here because he's found the Forest Protector and...
Okay, so that's Nayad's back. But at the same time, Meluzin's really good.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I think Paya might... If he'd led Xavier here... If he led Xavier, he had 2 turns where he could potentially have got rid of Equinox. Both of them. There's only 2. And he could have got rid of them both in the amount of turns that were left. He cannot do that now. Which could have denied them from the Forest Protector. He's decided against doing that.
The Seer combo, oh no. Well, even if he plays it now, he can only take 1 away, so
I think
doesn't make...
he can kill it. He clicks and he rains, and there she goes. So there is not double. Really nice from Paya there. But I think Danirai still just takes it.
Yeah, because we see, what? 6 points from Xavier, that's it. And Equinox, it's 11.
Yeah.
That's important. It's not
it's
12,
11,
but still spawns 1 tree.
Yeah, and there's a huge number of points.
We don't know what's the left cards, but it could be some Dryad probably hasn't been played yet.
Yeah, and that is Danirai taking it 1-0 so far.
Oof.
Okay, what? Okay.
That is, wow,
That was...
Interesting.
It is 1-0 Danirai. Now, Danirai played that first round perfectly. He looked like he was in a really awkward spot the whole way.
Yep.
His hand wasn't great. It was difficult. And then all of a sudden, a struggle. It's not by any means Self-Wound's best matchup into this. And it's curious to see what happens now. Getting that gift list through was probably a given into the lineup. Will it end up? It's going to be curious. That list also thins so well. So well. But very well played by Danirai. Didn't panic.
It didn't panic, kept it, was like, okay, I can commit the technically biggest thing I have.
Yeah.
If that means I'm not giving you round control.
And if he gave away round control, he loses.
Yeah.
There is no ifs, buts about that. Hopefully there is no visual bug here. We should be on. We'll check for a score update as well for the Kaneki series while we're waiting.
Check now while we're waiting.
Because they probably have finished their first game.
Yeah.
So if Paya starts, he plays Xavier, denies. It would depend on if Danirai then would have greeded and played the Seer or not. Because if he plays the Seer is useless, Paya has his second turn, bang, they're both gone. In reality, of course, he probably wouldn't have done that.
Looking at the game right now, it's Mistikal playing Nilfgaard versus Kaneki playing Syndicate.
And they're still in the first series.
And they're still in the first series, just in case you guys are interested.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep an eye on it, but it's not easy.
Okay, so more impossible mathematics as Danirai brings cultists on blue. That's not a surprise at all. It's what we expected him to bring on blue. So I'm not surprised at all about that. The big one for me is, can Paya draw a hand that can pressure and destroy this? Has got some of his removal in hand. He's also got a pair of poisons. It's not looking too shabby for him. Okay.
Not too shabby at all.
Not too shabby. But this one should... but it's quite the hand from Danirai. This one's going to be interesting. This one's going to be very interesting as a series.
So Danirai is just going for the villains arc,
Yeah, he's gone for soup, and his whole strategy is Giga Greed because there isn't enough. In his mind, he believed that would be the right tack. So that is the line that he has chosen. That's what he's decided to take here. Paya double leaders though. Straight in, he's opening, he's looking for... Now neither of those are going to remove.
No. Not enough remove.
No, you've got 4 damage from this, then the boost.
Yeah.
No, he's gone for the... that's rough. He was trying to roll for the 5 damage.
Yeah.
Doesn't get it, and now we see that teleportation drops in. Danirai will be really pleased. Misses the roll on that Paya, the 5 damage.
So after watching, the Symbiosis Spring Equinox horror, we're now doing cultists.
Yeah.
And then Reavers.
And then Reavers.
Then it will be Reavers.
super aggressive here on that front from Danirai. And Paya's kind of gone, no, you know what? This is the way we're going to go. I'm going to keep developing my engines here. I'm going to keep going, take that carryover. Danirai could lose this on even and not be too heartbroken, typically.
Yes.
But in terms of Reavers don't guarantee to win this series by any means. In fact, they're not. I would say that if Paya can find the right cards, he's pretty happy, if I'm being completely honest.
Yes.
Does play the Arcane Tome.
To get the Neuromancy.
An Neuromancy in. Yes. Gives himself yet another and says, you know what, I'm confident that you haven't removed the first one, so I can greed and play the second. More than willing to take this into a long round because that is a terrible idea for you. Paya will want to push to try and win this. Ideally on even, as happened to him the other way.
Probably, yeah, but does Pajabol have what it takes in this round 1?
He's okay. He's ahead comfortably before he's played a card. Has enough value bronzes that he can commit here to be pretty content. He's got too many coins to remove right now with bloody good fun.
Yes.
I think it's quite an overspend, but he might consider it. I don't think he will. He could use... Is he going to use the book? He does it. No. He has decided, you know what, it's that important.
This is how many cultists I can stand, no more.
And He, in fact, double removes them here.
Wow.
Okay, big for Paya. Says, I'm getting rid of those. I'm not going to give you that additional one. Each infusion is way too many. Big choice. They're very aggressive from Paya, but he does know the lines in this matchup, and we know not removing them is fatal.
Yeah, and he's down to 0 coins now as well.
Yeah, he's back down to 0 coins and has committed 3 of those leader charges too.
And now Danirai is grabbing the cursed scroll, and we're doing the same thing again.
Here we go again, and this time it's from the operator.
Okay.
This time it's from the operator. It's the operator that grabs that. But Paya not messing around. Paya straight in, knows he's pretty confident. He's looking to commit to win this one, potentially on even.
Yeah.
Keeping his coins though, holding them back.
And we're now seeing the scenario drop down to even more cultists.
Yeah.
But isn't that quite late for Danirai to do this?
No, doesn't. He's just building all of that carryover generation. So he's sitting here and he's going, look, I can keep building this. I have reach because of the leader ability.
Okay.
It's so many points that he can jam very quickly if he needs to. He's not worried about the soldier element of it, and it will give him that little bit of extra reach.
Okay.
So, and that's one of the things. These lists, whether you like them or don't like them, the idea that they're easy is not accurate. Both of these decks are remarkably tough to pilot to win.
Payables especially.
That's hard to draw well.
Yeah, that's just difficult. Danirai has a little more consistency in the deck.
Yes, he's built it
but
for
at the
consistency.
same time, because of how obvious cultists are in a sense, if you're facing a heavy control and your opponent has the answers, you're just not getting to ever develop your strategy, right?
And even when you want your strategy to go a certain way, it can be very, very difficult to make that a reality.
Yeah.
Because you have to draw in the right order, you have to infuse correctly. Even if you do it, you just flat out lose to a lot of things. So it's a very brave choice. One of my least favourite decks personally.
Cultist.
But still a very interesting choice because it will have some great matchups and it will have some terrible ones. Currently, right now, you can see he is on even cards, 20 plus points behind. But he's got a hand that he can commit most of, and he's held this reasonably well here, built so many points. Paya desperately needs to win this round, and ideally on even, honestly, because you can see
but you see
the
how
swing.
Quickly the points add up for cultists. It's just everything ticks.
So quick. But now there's nothing infused on the other side. Completely on the other side. You can see now there's no infusions. So while you've procced it, you've done your combo, it's amazing. You now need to do it again to make this work. The question is, can he do it? Is he going to be able to survive long enough to do it?
So, and Pajabol has the second poison, so that closes the gap a little bit.
Is he going to push it? Is he going to get himself ahead and full spend here? That's the question. Or does he offer the out? Because I don't think he's going to get... No, he does.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. Paya says, I'm not going to give it to you. Whether you want it or not, you will play here.
Yes.
So
then Danirai can either play Wrathines.
He doesn't. I don't think he wants to. I think he would rather...
No, that's what I was thinking. So it's Wrathines, the Bronze Cultist, or Operator. Which ones are the better options?
It's difficult because you can't... He's in a spot now. If he plays the Bronze Cultist... He's bricked his own operator this round. He doesn't want to give the operator this round.
Yes.
But he probably has to. He probably has to. Everything is now infused well. He is going to play the operator here. Okay, it's a big
commitment, right?
But I think less than the Barathans overall, and it's the smart play.
Okay.
I think it's the smart play.
And meanwhile, on the other side, Pajabol has only gold cards left. Is there any that Pajabol can play now?
He could play... it's tough. He could play the Gregory. Gregory is, again, crazy maths points, so I'm not going to even go into. He can commit the Gregory here, and it's worth him playing everything in his hand to win this on even.
Yeah, okay.
But, given he's got no consistency in his list at all, he could just draw terribly from here on in and then lose to himself. And Paya takes himself out of the round.
He could be thinking, I know I have no consistency, so having these guaranteed, does he believe that he can therefore
he must
the bleed?
He must do. Okay, the Purify is massive for him to grab. That's huge because it will deny at least the first cycle of, but oh, that's a big, big choice of a pass.
And meanwhile, Danirai draws the Prophet.
Yeah, but straight passes instantly was always going to be the case. Kalkstein, I suppose the difficulty is it's amazing, but it's also targetable itself with no other Purifies.
So we are seeing Kalkstein's gonna Jack, because this is devotion also.
Yes,
that's one of the few devotions we've seen. Pajabol brought Devotion Syndicate.
Yeah, it's one of the few in the whole. Yeah,
as well. And meanwhile, Danirai draws the Dandelion Poet.
Is he okay? So, because obviously he doesn't want gold cards here particularly. It makes it super awkward. Is he going to just hold the coins? No, he gives the infuse. No. Okay. I suppose because he has some bronzes, he's just saying you're going to get value. He still has Hemmelfart, which is going to bring back bronzes. He's always going to find those.
So then we're also seeing the Prophet in Danirai's hand. So right timing for Prophet could be really tough, right?
Yeah. And of course, this is going to bring himself another engine back here. Wow. So in terms of this is, and obviously he'll full leader here, potentially. Is he going to decide to do that? Is he going to? Yeah, he does, because it will thin out there the Afan. Lots of engine generation. Paya will know this matchup inside out. I would never have passed here, but that's why Pajabol is Pajabol. He will believe that was the right choice. There's so many points in his hand right now, and a ton of removal possibility if it's played the right way. Yep.
Yes, so we're seeing this come down, and spending as well once, so that's all gone. I wonder which big cards Pajabol missed. I don't think it's many.
No, he's looking okay in terms of his list, because we haven't got access to the graveyard. King of Beggars will thin itself through, has missed Morilsi, and that is all he has managed to miss.
Okay.
The Kalkstein in hand is huge for him here. Absolutely huge, because it will deal with the initial targets. It will obviously then get targeted itself, but it can't get targeted itself. It's a gold card, and it can't be removed. The Kalkstein is absolutely huge.
So
can't be infused.
Good. That can be remove infused.
Yeah, that's massive. And there's no removal for it either in the list. So the Kalkstein here could be absolutely clutch. It can. The only lock,
I think there's one more lock in the deck.
Yeah.
So Oneiromancy might bring that up. We'll see. So what can Pajabol do now? Is it time for some of the bronzes just to let them be? But do you want to put targets down?
That's the difficulty. You're always going to have to, right? You're going to need to play those cards. This could be yet again a moment where he tries to roll the Shady Vendor here, try and find that 5-point removal, and just get rid of this engine here. It's definitely a viable option. I guess, is that what he's doing?
Maybe.
No, okay. Siggy is coming down here. Okay. And he plays the other two. He's got the coins. This is going to be a lot of points. Not quite enough in terms of removal.
Okay.
But it is a lot of points, and the buff here as well. I would imagine, he does pay it. And
one of the cultists is gone.
Lines it up with the junior. Really nice there for Paya. But we've all seen you can be 100 points down if you can set your cultists up just right. That is a bigger swing than rain.
True, and I'm not sure I want to see it.
Whether we want to or not, it could happen. But
Paya,
he's in a strong situation. I think the thing for Danirai now, the big decision is going to come to exactly when do you profit to make things awkward for Pajabol.
Yeah.
That is exactly right.
Yeah, Danirai is thinking, how awkward can I make this for Paya?
Yeah, when do I do it, and when is it its absolute worst moment?
Definitely. And this is not the time yet.
That Vilgefortz is big. Because it doesn't matter. That Vilgefortz, that talent level, is pretty big.
Okay. So Dandelion's gone, and we see Kolkstein now.
Yeah, and he'll offensively purify. I literally went to hover that.
Offensively purify is a very nice way to put it. Yeah, I get it.
Which is, hey, 5D Gwent chess. This is the thing. He's used his leader charge. That reduces the engine value of every future cultist played, which is massive here. He's trying to keep himself in that spot to make that possible. Now the question is going to be, if you're Danirai, are you going to have to Vilgeforce away that Purify and potentially not be able to finish off what you are going to target yourself? It's a really awkward decision for Danirai right here. This is one of the things I meant when I said this is super complicated as a series. There are so many micro decisions.
And also, I think you only have one more opportunity to play the Prophet.
Yes, it has to play it now.
This is it, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just meh.
Is he going to use the Purifies instead of converting one of those? Probably. Prophet literally has to be played this turn. Yes. It's Adrenaline 2.
So otherwise, that is it. So, more spending on Kolkstein, just trying to get rid of as much as possible.
Yeah, it does.
So, Prophet has to come down now.
If he's going to play it for locks. Now, Pia's held on to a couple of bronze cards, one of which he doesn't even have the coins for, so it is exactly that time. It is the Prophet.
So, that's brilliant for Pajabol, because he can drop one of the bronzes, right?
Yeah. And that's going to be his play here. So he's going to drop, he drops it. He's like, look, it's 4 points. I don't care about it.
Yeah.
And you think, well, he could have rolled something great maybe, but the overall guaranteed value from the Preacher of the Eternal Fire?
Yes.
Maybe?
I think. But also, if you're in open decklist, you know there's a Prophet. You want to keep a target for when they drop the Prophet. I have a target, because you don't want it to be your last 3 good cards, and then
Yeah, massively. And you can see here he is just denying. So most of you, he's denying all of the infusions, but that means any infuse unit killed that jumps across. A lot of the infusions are to make them cultists. So.
And I think Danirai can lock the.
He can. He hasn't yet, and I'm surprised, honestly.
I think it's Paya's played it, so it's kind of been, I have to play this now each time. Prophet had to be played. Things had to be played.
And it's an awkward, and it can be quite a clunky list. He could have early on just used the Vilgeforce to get rid of it, but I don't think he believes he has a way to get that final swing that he's looking for if he does that. Because he knows that so much isn't going to stick.
Or maybe Danirai was like, oh, that's alright, I'll deal with it.
Here's the replay. So he manages to fling that across.
Yeah.
But it only boosts by 4, and we have seen 16, 17, 18 before,
more.
Right?
Yeah.
So
that's Paya now has Keeper of the Light, right? And the other big chunker guy.
Yeah. How do we know how the first series?
Yeah. I just wanted to talk about it after this series. Yeah. So,
here he comes, the big lad. Old Gregory is dropping down here. Now, is he going to use his insanity?
There we go.
He does.
Gregory,
and again,
come on.
Huge Gregory boost. And another. No, Gregory never does. Gregory was in, he was out, he was boosting,
like,
and
I did my thing. Goodbye.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm a saint. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
It's a rare occurrence, rare sight. I'm going home. Another cultist from Danirai.
Yeah.
And last spender from Paya. And this is looking.
Look, it's cultist. I can't say
tell.
It, but this should
go to Paya.
But the thing is, he can target and burn whenever he wants, right? Let's say he targets the 3. He's going to remove that here. Spawn onto the other side, pulls the Mariel Sea, does the damage, but Pajabol takes it, as we see.
That means we cast Cultist again?
Potentially, yeah.
No, potentially, definitely.
Only if he brings it and doesn't lose, right?
So, meanwhile, Kaneki versus Mistikal, by the way.
Yes.
Kaneki won the first game, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And now they're playing. Kaneki is now playing Scoia'tael versus Mistikal Scoia'tael.
Oh,
So
oh wow,
it's
Scoia'tael mirror. I will ping and ask in the Discord to confirm that.
Yeah.
So it is 1-1 now between these players. So let me show you the deck lists very quickly.
Yep.
So that you can see Danirai won the first series. His Nature's Gift is through, and his Ursine Ritual is banned.
Yeah. So we're now either seeing Reavers or Cultists again.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Pajabol won with Syndicate, and
Yeah.
his Arca Swarm is gone. So it will be Swallowblood or Nature Gift.
Yeah, they are your options. We are flipping back coins. We are going in. They are not taking breaks. They are not messing around here.
Nope, let's go.
What are we going to see as Paya comes in on blue coin here? Okay, so Paya coming in on blue coin. He will probably flip back to what he lost with initially.
Could be. So
I
that
would
could
say.
be another Swallowblood.
Could well
Yeah.
be Ursine Ritual here. Feels pretty content with it. Depends, because if he
And
ends
it
up...
is what it is. So it's Swall.
That's horrible for Danirai,
That's
I think.
horrible for Danirai. Because
Potentially.
Swallowblood likes the pew-pews.
Yes. This can be
We're
really...
not in.
Oh, wait, okay.
Sorry, chat.
We're not in. We are in now. As it's game 3, it is 1-1. It is Self-Wound Svalblood on blue versus the new version of Reavers that comes with Melitele's Temple to boot.
Yes. Second game of the Kaneki is done, but we don't know the. I'll tell you the scores in a second. So we'll see.
Yeah, we will. And in terms of previous series today, we will run through them in between the matchups if they give us time.
Yes.
Red Coin Reavers is an interesting choice. I think he wants to be not losing on even. He wants to try and bully a little with this. Has 2 of them in hand and is going to be looking to set up some power early. On Paya's side, it's not the worst opening hand. He could just... He loses the point on this instead of dropping the boat out. Has no Melusine here to do the damage. And of course, well, it's, I'd imagine, going to be that temple nice and early.
Yes. We don't know what they're choosing,
Ooh,
right?
Okay. No, we can't see what they're going to choose. I'm going to take a guess and assume it will be Selkirk here, I would imagine. As the first choice. Oh,
wow.
Probably I'd take Philippa here, but it's tough.
Another Philippa.
Queen Maeve? But no, he's going to take Boholt. That's a massive grab. He takes Boholt, he takes Philippa, he does.
Oh,
wow.
okay.
That Boholt is huge. Huge for Danirai, but
It's insane. Okay.
it's a really tough matchup for him. It's certainly unfavoured in this spot, so we're going to see how it lines up.
So how is Paya's hand looking?
Okay.
That's good. It's pretty
Not
okay.
terrible.
You can replace Wallblood. We might see a similar round 1 like we saw before, maybe.
I would say both players are acutely aware of the importance of round control here. A willingness to go as far into this as they can. Oh, this is an interesting 50-50.
And meanwhile, Kaneki vs Mistikal are currently playing Nilfgaard versus Nilfgaard Mirror.
Yeah.
And I'm
Amazing.
sorry I didn't see that.
Yes, well, we will recap it when we know more. As the first Reaver is dealt with, no worries on a 50-50 there. The additional ping, of course, guaranteed onto that. Not gaining too much in the way of self-damage, but that's okay. Danirai has brought his extra power, the Ansace, in hand. Paya will know that. It's no secret or surprise that it's there, or the number of points that it is, and that it will come in and answer that Svalblood immediately. So he will want to make sure he gets the right value for it when he can.
First Reavers. The Reavers is down. And you know what? Paya is just putting more engines down. Because looking at Paya, does he have any actual removal right now? Not really. One that he
Not
could
direct.
use to...
No. So at this stage, he can use the Mardrome proactively onto that too, if he wants to next turn.
Yes.
It's a possibility. The thing is, for Danirai, he's got to decide, having played both Reavers organically from hand, what's his choice, and it is It's a big choice. He is trying to develop those engines, and he does give us the Idoran here.
And we see the offensive smart roll coming down immediately from Paya.
Makes sense.
It's like no more Reavers, really.
Reduce the numbers wherever possible. And the garrison drops out, though.
Another Reavers.
Oh, wow. That's...
Oh, no. I wonder, is there going to be more Reavers?
I would say so. But here's the thing. Reavers... they're just going to provide value potentially to Pajabol consistently in this situation. So it's not that great if you're gaining value from it, right? It's not as amazing as it looks. It can be super awkward. Paya is already still ahead here. A pass would be risky for Danirai. In fact, it would be terrible.
Yeah.
Because while he looks like he's +4, he is in no way up that many. Paya's in a decent spot right now.
Are we going to see a big boy from Paya? And we do.
Oh boy.
I love that.
And double leaders as well. And he says, your Reavers are no more, but he can't get rid of all of them, which is unfortunate.
One of them stays. That means more Reavers for Danirai, because they're really difficult to get rid of. They're like cockroaches. They're
just never dying. Are the Reavers? Yes.
Yes. So... equally, they provide value for Pajabol, and now it's the matter of who do they provide more value for?
And that's the question. Against Self-Wound, they can actually hurt you rather than harm you. Danirai is a long way, literally, a long way away, but that Anses makes a big gap. It's 21 points. He is behind by just 18 with his engine. It's a huge commit, but one he's probably happy with. Could just take it slow, could bomb and get rid of the priest here to stop some of the point generation. Yeah. Ooh, clicks the garrison too.
As well, wow.
Interesting choice.
So are we just going to see the bronze from Paya or any bigger commitment? What do you think?
Probably the bronze from Paya here. He's still in an okay spot. He doesn't need to go too intense here.
I don't think we're seeing a pass because you want to make sure you're winning.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he passes here. Even on blue coin, he might still have it in his mind. Oh wow, he is Fukushed here to take even more value and decides Idoran is going. That is very aggressive.
Is big.
But probably correct. Has access to it. Didn't decide to take the extra priest. And I don't believe there are any wagons in this list. No room with the temple.
And at the same time, Pajabol still has read to then bring Swallowblood back, right?
Completely.
So that's not a worry.
But it's such a huge commitment here to kill a 3 now that he's going to be thinking, do I really want to give my guaranteed tour removal for Knut or something like that? It's really very interesting.
Yeah, definitely. So, there are probably there's no current target for Skrilla.
Yeah.
It might be later on, but not as of now. So we're seeing the tome come down.
The tome
that could be on Iromancy.
Yeah,
or
you probably would in
Will of the Wisps to Doom.
Will of the Wisps to Doom plays for 2 little points, right?
So you got an Iromancy to Will of the Wisps to Doom.
Yeah, instead he goes for the bomb, gets rid of the Foulblood that way. No, gets rid of the engine.
Okay.
Because, of course, Foulblood's only going to be useful if it gets the damage, and right now there's so much armor that it's not finding any. But Paya happy to click this tome. It's always risky.
Oh no.
Because of course, anything you do, you give your opponent as well. And here comes Melusine, as well as the Purify.
That's a big commitment.
And that's really interesting, what you've just seen. He's just purified his own Melusine. Straight off the bat, just, I'm purifying.
Why?
There's no need. He's just got rid of his own veil there.
Yeah.
It's not going to gain... It will still gain Doomed.
Why would you do that?
He knows there's no lock.
It's really strange. Why would you purify...
Oh, of course. It's Teshin Mutna Sword. No, not Teshin Mutna Sword.
I know which sword you mean.
Hengadites. No, it is Teshin Mutna Sword. No, bang, bang. Yeah. It would have done more damage and would have been removable.
Sword.
Yeah, there you go. He's avoiding the Teshin Mutna Sword. Obviously, we know it's not there, but really smart line from Pajabol.
Yeah.
Of course, it still dies to the Anses. That reach is very, very frustrating, but he does get the reach. He does get it from him. And it's...
True. but we're not going to see it because we don't have the target for it.
This is such an interesting
choice. Is the tone going
choice.
to get clicked again? You know, green circle must click. Is there something that Pajabol can use
This is
to
really,
catch up?
in theory, yes. He could play the Sigvold, he could drop the Canute, he could punch the Canute and hit. The problem for Pajabol is he needs 18 points here just to force the last card out, and it's a measly squirrel.
But he doesn't know that.
No, he doesn't. That's the problem. And if he commits 2 of his biggest cards, he probably wants to give himself 9 to 10 points of reach.
Mm-hmm. And I see the hovering across the button, and I'm just like, ah. So, what is Paya
And he
passes?
takes the pass. Okay. Amazing opening round for Danirai here in a very unfavoured matchup. He's taking it on red to try to give it the power. So far, it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be a very interesting one here. As
So, what we see a heat wave for Paya.
there's still a heat wave available for Danirai as well, remember. He
So-
has it from a Neuromancer.
That's the graveyard, and we don't know what's left, but that squirrel is going to eat a mystery card that we sadly are not seeing.
It's an awkward hand for Pajabol too.
Yeah.
It's because he probably has to just, he can't, I mean, he can just play the Sigvold here, but it just gets heat waved. You know, it just gets heat waved.
Yeah, because Danny has access to the heat wave right now.
Yeah.
So that is what it is. But, you know, Pajabol again, that
says, okay,
Pajabol
then
knows
use
there
it.
has been Oniromancy, but it's like, okay, show me if you can, if you're doing this, right?
Yeah.
And Swallowblood's gone from the graveyard.
Yeah, Foulblood is gone from the...
So,
no.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is, you're right, yeah. Foulblood's gone.
Melusine is still here, Fukusha is still here, it's not a Swallowblood.
It's the Foulblood that's gone. A double
Another
squirrel.
squirrel.
Yeah.
And that eats... What, Melusine?
Not the Melusine.
Melusine,
Wait, what did go?
honestly, not sure.
Was that a misclick from Danirai?
What, chat, if you remembered it, what went?
Could be the boat.
Could have been the boat, yes. Double squirrel.
Double squirrel. Okay, that's...
yeah, you know, didn't eat.
that?
I'm not sure if that was in the deck.
Yeah, well, it was.
was.
He did run double squirrel intentionally.
Intentionally from the beginning. Oh wow, we just never looked at it.
And Nero's for Maxi here to see. He says, I'm getting out of here. No matter what you do, I'm getting out of here.
Newt and the other guy.
But he's never finding Sigdriffer. I think he has to shuffle.
We'll see. We don't know either. Whew. Okay, this is nerve-wracking.
Very.
So Mushy Truffle, not it now, right?
Yeah.
Oniromancy again could bring Heatwave, but the Sigvold's not doing anything.
Yeah. This could be a 2-0. Although, honestly, the Sigvold probably just does it.
Danirai
Gets
says,
the pass. This is going to be so tense. This is going to be so tense here, because Fukusha's already gone, remember, which means you've got to make the decision between the Melusine or the Sigvold, and the decision for me would be the Sigvold. The Will-o'-the-Wisp's in hand. Is he going to keep it? Surely he's not, right?
Squirrel's gone
yeah.
for Paya, Xavier, probably possibly as well.
I mean, it's just 6 points, right?
Yeah.
Which isn't the worst.
Kaneki won the first game, by the way.
Yeah, Kaneki is at least 1-0 up, and I believe in
and
this.
I'll update you on the other one.
Yeah. So now the Will-o'-the-Wisp stays, and there it is. He holds it.
Instant value.
Yeah, massive Will-o'-the-Wisp. But Paya was expecting it. Knew it was coming. That's pretty bad for Pajabol.
I really want to see Will-o'-the-Wisp's meta. Wow.
Yeah. And now this.
Oh, that's...
Yeah.
Wow, that's brilliant for Danirai. You wouldn't have planned it yourself, you know, because Philippa was from the temple.
Yeah, but it's one of the grabs you want to take, but you just get the best thing that is in front of you. Danirai now has, of course, played that Mushy Truffle. Pajabol says, I can't win this. Woo. Amazing. That was not easy. That is probably, I said this at the beginning, Danirai managing to get that through is possibly series winning here.
So we are now updating the score. So it's Pajabol 1, Danirai 2. 2-1 for Danirai. I am looking at Kaneki versus Mistikal. I sadly missed the score of the second game, and they're now in third game, and that's Nilfgaard versus Nilfgaard Mirror. So I honestly don't know what's happening in there, but
we're asking to find out for that one
we'll
now.
We'll find out when we know.
Yeah, and Danirai, honestly, with the amount of graveyard access.
What's the last thing we're going to see from Danirai? Cultist again.
Yeah, so Danirai is playing his cultist list, and he's only got to get that through now.
Yeah, that's Pajabol, the last deck that Danirai has to get through.
But Paya still has Gift and Ursine Ritual here to fight it with. Now, Gift is going to struggle against this.
Yeah.
That is going to struggle against this, genuinely. That's going to be a serious challenge for him. Danirai, that is the list that he's got to use. It's Imperial Formation, Cultists, and
Kaneki won the second game as well, by the way, so it's 2-0 for Kaneki currently.
Okay, Kaneki 2-0 up. We are going into game 4 here, though. They are playing pretty quickly.
Definitely, yeah.
It is 2-1 Danirai. He is looking to progress into that winner's bracket right now.
More cultists.
It's going and Paya. Okay, so this is smart from Paya because he knows it's a bad matchup.
Yeah, and the Paya is bringing the more toxic version.
The super greedy version.
Super greedy. 2 Seers, Alisa,
this is gonna be
Equinox. So everything is in here.
This is going to be such a chaotic series. Paya has to take this on red because it's the least favoured. He wants to be aggressive. He wants to bully. He wants to win on even, which has happened against him twice. And then just absolutely take everything he can out in that bleed round to have a better short round. That's what you have to do.
So, and Pajabol has a limited amount of removal. The Nature Rebuke, Heat Wave, and then possibly the Naiad. But for that you need quite chunky trees, right?
Yeah. And that's the thing. This is going to be a very, very interesting series. Like I would say, Danirai is definitely favoured here, but he was grossly unfavoured and it didn't hurt him. So you just don't know. Paya opening up, and of course the Gwent coming down makes sense. It's so great in terms of additional value in this round. It's a phenomenal engine that can be overlooked sometimes, I think, Gwent. Honestly.
So Mistikal wins the series 3. So
Mistikal
it's 2-1, chat.
I thought Mistikal had already won both.
No, Kaneki won.
Oh, okay, so it's 2-1 in that series.
2-1 for Kaneki. So I'm just looking. Paya doesn't have access to Heatwave right now.
No, he doesn't. He'll need that for the scenario and doesn't have it. Smart from Danirai as well. Of course, he's playing around those rebukes. Knows that there's nothing that Paya can do above that in this list, and that they're just going to sit there. He's just looking at the deck list right now. He is looking around going, is there anything you can do? Do I have to lead more? Is it worth it? The answer is no. This is going to be a pure, all-out greed fest.
Yeah, this is a Gwent solitaire. At some point, that's what it becomes.
Kind of.
It's like, I have point. Do you have more points?
Yeah.
And that's just what it is.
Whew.
Okay, so what are we seeing? So, Curse Scroll? No.
The Curse Scroll he's going to hold on to for now. And obviously he'll get rid of the thinning Riot Brigade, I think they called at the end. Nausicaa Brigade, actually. That will be the card that goes down to the bottom, of course. It's a card you're going to thin. He will is he going to do it? Teleport here, obviously, is negative points.
But
worth it for... And he knows it will probably die unless he uses all of his leader, which is a big commitment here.
But it's what...
It is what he decides to do. So he infuses the Vilga Forts, of course he does. That makes sense. Is he going to use...
Leader.
He only has to use one leader right now.
Wait. That's Cursed Scroll now being used. Dandelion and Nausicaa Brigade
doesn't
goes.
leader offers
So
Pyre.
Cultist dies immediately, of course. That's what will happen.
Now, I'm not sure he didn't rope there. I feel like he wanted to leader to keep that safe, honestly.
And now Pajabol also has access to higher removal because the trees are higher. So the Naiads can suddenly do way more damage. Yeah,
and that's a big thing. He's now got 6 removal as well as the 5 removal. Didn't have it set up before. And here we are. Yeah.
So what is Danirai wanting to commit here? Is it, is there something that he definitely wants to keep for round 2? Or
He never wants to commit the Vilgefortz.
Okay.
The Vilgefortz for him is the way he wants to do this.
Okay.
He can't afford to go into being bled, but he does. He takes the pass. Paya will be very happy with round control and a win on even here. So, you're going to see one heck of a bleed here from Pajabol right now, I would say.
But Paya hasn't played any Equinox, so Alisa doesn't have a target.
But that means you can use her in the same round as you play them, get them straight back.
Yeah.
You don't mind that at all.
I know,
That's why he's holding the one in hand.
We have one Seer as well, so that's possibly what you're aiming for. So, wow.
This is
risky for Danirai.
just a bit. Danirai taking the pass, he believes he can resist the bleed well enough. He's going to have to lock that, and has the answer to it.
And we don't have an unlock.
There isn't an unlock available, so obviously that's unfortunate. It was a case of, do you have it?
brings Keras.
Could Falve into Caress, but then it will double
But then you're
Caress.
losing the... yeah. So that's just it, because that was Payabol's way to get more Equinoxes.
Now, and one thing that does stand in positive for Pajabol here, though, is his own Xavier. He can play on the range row and remove the cultists from his own graveyard, making those illusionists worse later. Instead, we get another one. Paya determined to maximize his value, going for as much greed as he can, makes perfect sense.
Yes. And that is now safe, unless Danirai decides to Vilgefortz it.
Which he never does, I don't think. He could have Nero into a lock.
Another one?
Has he got a second 4-provision lock?
Yes.
Yes, he does. So he could choose to do that. That's a possibility. He could go down that line.
And we'll see how he decides to deal with that, but that still needs to be answered.
And I don't think he's going to. I think he's just going to say, no worries. I can give you my cards and I'm happy with it.
No, I think we're seeing an Aromancy.
Okay, but it's not for what you think it is.
Yep. And no.
Okay, he plays the teleportation and gets the lock again. Okay. Now, however, it might actually be worth... do you ever give it back? You know there's only so many, right? You know there's only so many available in your opponent's list.
What you could do... play the extra Equinox.
Yeah. No, he's going to go for the triple purify.
Oh,
bang,
okay.
bang.
Bang,
so
bang,
many
bang.
points. Great for Gord. He can keep doing it. And it's, a lot of point generation.
And you have to dry it because forward's down.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, a good amount of points there that ends up being worth. He plays it on the front row and gets rid of the Nero instead. Okay. Interesting.
We don't have a way to move unless Paya super talented gets bountiful from Simlos by single bountiful and
not
moves
worth
it, but that's not happening. It's just okay. So we're seeing necromancy for another cultist.
Yeah.
And Tome jumping in and out again.
A lot of Tome, honestly.
You rarely see that on ladder.
Adds a huge dimension to it. We do get the scenario drop, but no heat wave available. Full leader in and down. All the thinning, everything's happening here. But Paya can't afford to let this round. He can't get out here. He has to play basically everything, even the Simless possibly, albeit he'd like to hold it.
But we have Tome. I like my strategies when Paya just high rolls exactly what he needs.
And it's doable. It's possible. There's no point doing it yet, though.
Yes.
Because he mulliganed away very consciously, I think, the operator. Did that in round 1, never found it again in round 2, and now can't get it. So that strategy kind of is bricked anyway. For Pajabol here, honestly, Tempest might be the way. He can use it to remove...
That's not Tempest. That's...
Oh, he's okay. He's just playing points. Now that removal is very scary because he can...
yeah, because now you can delete anything, really.
Yeah, and you may think, okay,
so,
he's just overspent there. There was an 11 buff. It resets. It was minus 11 to kill a 6. Worth it.
Yeah, for the cultist value, definitely.
Completely worth it.
So what... So does Pajabol want to stay long enough to play the extra Equinox and then play Alisa?
He wants to play every card in his hand except Simless.
Okay.
And even arguably Simless if it gets everything out of your opponent's hand. There's so many golds for Danirai right now that it's just worth it, I think. This is an uphill series. Paya's put himself into the perfect situation for this matchup, but it is the worst matchup for him. Danirai managing to get those Reavers through in the previous one, huge for him.
Okay, so we can see. Technically, we're looking at Paya's hands. He can play anything else, right?
Yeah.
He's okay with playing the whole thing out.
He'd rather not play the Simless.
Yeah.
He would much rather not play the Simless.
Keep that for later.
But he can. If he absolutely has to, he can.
Okay.
Is the thing.
Meanwhile, Danirai has finished the scenario. And
everyone's a cultist now.
Everyone joined the cult.
Yeah, the entire of Nilfgaard cult.
Huh. So, what are we going to see from Danirai?
It's difficult for him. He can commit basically anything he's got except Vilgefortz.
Okay.
He doesn't want to commit that.
And we're seeing Dandelion
finds the other lock. Okay.
The other lock doesn't really have the greatest target now anymore, does it?
No, not especially. Instead, he does play the Illusionist, but it doesn't have the target he was looking for because he hasn't managed to re-find again, right?
Yeah. So now Pajabol can catch up. So the Spring Equinox 11, 12 with the leader, and their Symbiosis cards.
Yeah.
So Pajabol is alright with just that, but decides instead to get rid of another cultist on board.
Yeah.
Now a cultist, freshly recruited, right?
Yeah.
Dandelion wasn't part of the cult, joined.
No, yes,
like everybody
he's
else.
A spy, the best of spies, in fact.
True.
The real, Paya in this round, he's still okay. He's currently got, 8 units on the back row and just 6 in the front, which leaves him just 4 spaces. If he plays the nature card Tempest right now, that is 3 of 4 of them gone.
True.
Which is really scary as a situation for him. So he has to wait a little bit for that. But he can't wait much longer because he's going to lose value. He could just play the other Equinox, then Alisa, then play it on a full board.
Could be.
But so many points behind, he has to threaten that he has got the space.
Jeez.
Right?
Yes. And we're seeing
he just
Tempest,
does it.
which means 2 more trees.
3 more trees, because nature.
True. So we're down to 1 spot.
Yeah.
Correct?
And now Brathens could fill that spot if Danirai decides to do it, and that would be very awkward for Paya. He can still play the Equinox if that happens.
Just not Alisa.
But that's...
Well, you can play Alisa later, it's just not what you want here, right?
Yeah. This is going to be tough.
Well, we always knew this is going to be a big and tough series with some plays
and that's
that,
the thing.
Are very unique.
A lot of the matchups, decks had one great deck to face and one terrible deck to face, and we're seeing examples of that over and over again. The number of bronzes that Symbiosis spawns and its lack of control makes it an absolute nightmare.
Oh, we're seeing Vilgefortz.
And he burns the gourd as well. Now
at
that's
11.
But Paya still has reach here. He's got 4 cards in deck, and those 4 cards in the next round are powerhouses.
True.
That might be... I would actually rather that was burned than the Forest Protector. The Forest Protector is more points. Paya takes the pass here, says, I now have basically the hand of my dreams. I know you've got stuff too, but getting the Vilgefortz...
Wow.
6-card round, has the heat wave. This could be big.
I am just... So...
I don't know how to call this.
I don't know what the last card... That's the tree.
Forest Protector,
Forest Protector. So would you... If you're Pajabol, right? You could play... the Naiad, I guess, so it generates point.
I think it might be... Honestly, the Naiad would probably be my mulligan here.
Okay.
To get the Forest Protector.
True. And then you Spring Equinox and Alisa bring it back and Simlas. Is that your play?
That's probably what I'd be doing, yeah.
Yes. So, and then, meanwhile, Danirai.
Hmm.
What is it?
Okay, get rid of that instead. Fair enough.
We get the not prophet, sorry. Protector.
Yeah.
Because that's access to more removal if you need to.
Oh, and well, the problem is he has to keep that to deny the prophet. He has
True.
to have the bad bronze, right? Because he needs that as the card to unlock. But it also...
That also means you can't play it out now, so
No.
it will not generate any points as you play all of the nature cards out.
No, it's probably Forest Protector opening, honestly.
Probably, yeah, because that's it.
Yeah. This is because with... Okay, we obviously don't have access to the graveyard, but we know there is one Spring Equinox in there, not multiple, as lots of locks from Danirai.
No seer has succeeded in creating more of them.
No, and he drops the Prophet first. Okay.
Which is actually good for Paya.
I was going to say, Prior's pretty happy with that.
The Pond Keeper can go, and then you can even unlock it with Forest Protector if you really
never
want
going
to.
though.
I know,
Yeah. But maybe you do. You get rid of the...
Yeah, because you get rid of the thing and it generates you points because you are still going to play quite a few nature cards.
I don't think
it
it's
doesn't
worth
have to be the play, right?
I don't think it's worth it.
It could be more worth it to just get Nature Rebuke and get rid of the cultist, right?
Yeah.
But that is probably his next play.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's gonna be nail bite. Like, Danirai is super favoured in this matchup in this series. The bleed was reasonably effective.
Okay. Interesting. So we're keeping... So what... So that gives Danirai targets for the spies.
Yeah, it does. He's always going to take he's always going to take another cultist from the spy anyway.
Yeah. I meant that's true. Oh, okay. Well, either way, this is very. I think it's really interesting matchup between fresh toxic and long term unfavorite, right?
Yeah.
So we're just kind of, you don't know who to side with because you're not sure you like either of these decks.
They're both greedy, but in completely different ways, right?
Yeah.
They're both greedy in completely different ways.
Kaneki takes it.
Kaneki has also won his
3-1.
series 3-1.
Just so you guys know.
Yeah, Kaneki won 3-1 in his series. Congratulations to Kaneki. He will be in the winner's bracket tomorrow, facing off against whoever else won in their group. Congratulations to Kaneki. So we see so many cultists here.
Cultists and cultists
But
everywhere.
Paya also still has 3 lots of Equinoxes playing for 12 each, and a Heat Wave for the
2.
tallest cut. No, 3, because he'll replay it from the Forest Protector
Yeah,
2.
true. Okay, yeah.
And each of them will play for...
Oh, I thought that you think that
No,
there's
no,
another
no.
one for Simlas. There's 2 for Simlas and then 1 for Forest Protector. Correct.
And he's kept his full leader as well, sensibly knowing that he's going to need as much value in that short round as possible. We now see Simlas doing Simlas things. And here's, if he can... The problem is he spawns and creates so many one-point units that are just so killable. Which for him...
So killable.
This is tough, because Danirai keeps all of the infuses for just the right moment, and I mean, it will be all she wrote, I think, but...
Okay, so Danirai has 1 more bronze, and then technically 1 more from the informant, right? Is that what he wants to get? Just those bronze cultists. Okay. No more leader for Dani, and Paya still has 3 leaders, but is that it?
It's just... I mean, in theory, cultists should win this by 50.
Okay, yeah, I think so.
Like, by at least 50 points, but...
I don't think I want to see it.
Nobody does.
No. Yeah, they just win by million.
So he removes... So that's smart from Pajabol. He removes 1 of them. Boosts his units that are already tall, but I'm pretty sure... Because he can triple infuse... Shouldn't he triple infuse the same...
No, probably doesn't want to, but no, this is it.
And while he can Heat Wave away 25, that makes it Pajabol 1, Danirai 3.
Wow. So very balanced.
Now, That was a super awkward series for both players. Both of them played their matchups well. Danirai from from blue and red was super aggressive and played really well, getting those Reavers through against Self-Wound, grabbing the matchup, taking it on red. He had a couple of techs for the matchup, but that was going to be the moment, right? Yeah. That was where he needed to get it through, and that was series defining. Massive congratulations.
Great games, all of them. Massive congratulations to Danirai and Pajabol, because we know this is not over for Pajabol.
No.
Where is
I will show you exactly how it's looking in terms of the format. I will show you what this looks like.
So Danirai
took it. So,
there you go, complete your prediction, chat.
Yeah, as you can see on screen right now, we were effectively a game 2. So the winner, which is Danirai, will head into the winner's bracket series tomorrow, and he will take on the other winner from this group, which was Spellingbee. Whoever wins that is a rematch from World Masters Finals tomorrow. And I think Danirai, in terms of list for list, is favoured this time, in my opinion, for what that's worth. So they are going to face off against each other. And the two players who lost from that group today, so Pajabol and Carlito's Way, they will head down into the losers series tomorrow. The winner goes to the tiebreak. The loser is out. I would also think lineup for lineup, Paya should be favoured into Carlito's Way. So I think the two players from the group today have a chance to keep going, I think. It's going to be tough, but they could.
There is no current bracket. We can go through the series.
We will go through the series, yes. But before we do, you can support Gwent Esports.
If you go into your shop with Shop, you can buy either the card back or the board to support the esports, because 50% of the profits go into...
not 50% of the profits, 50% of the cost. Total cost, so lots.
50% of the cost goes into the prize the prize pool.
It does.
Let's go through the wins and losses of today, because there is no bracket, chat, so you need to keep an eye and be very mindful of what's happening.
And tomorrow we're live again at 4 p.m. and we will recap for you once again. But day 1 is complete. First series, Spellingbee taking out Carlito's Way 3-0.
Magpie losing to Puzzle.Express 3-1. Holdyr winning against Mya-Mon
3-2. Unfortunately, my favourite Nilfgaard list got reverse swept. Hate to see it.
Psycho Kid won 3-0 against Joe.
Yeah, Joe. Good old Joe.
Then Lerio lost to Kams 3-1.
Yeah.
Liu lost to Carpenten 3-1 as well.
3-1, yeah. Carpenten in the winner's bracket.
Then Kaneki made it to winner's bracket 3-1 against Mistikal.
And we just saw Danirai win his series 3-1 as well.
So now, if you were quick enough, wrote it all down. Now you know who the winners are, who the losers are. And that's what we're going to be seeing tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow we're going to be casting 2 games, and all of the other games, 2 series.
Yeah.
All of the other series are going to be happening all day.
Yeah.
And 8 total winners from
the
this
whole weekend
will qualify and get into the second weekend, fighting for one single place in Masters.
Yes, they will, and it's going to be huge. Nobody is out of the running just yet. Human do like you, and I hope you guys liked it too. There are some big games and series tomorrow morning. At 10 a.m. CEST, there are series at 1 p.m. CEST, and I have to shout out particularly to head over...
Our favourite, Slav Detective.
Yeah, the Slav Detective.
The one and only, Bomblin.
Yeah.
Bomblin will be casting with Merson,
which should be amazing. It'll be a unique cast.
Amazing. We are not casting at the time. We're going to be watching.
100%. We're going to be in and watching that.
So make sure you tune in for that. I am so excited to see both of them are my dear friends.
Yes.
They're amazing people, amazing Gwent players as well. It's going to be so much fun.
It should be brilliant. We will then be live from 4, and you will be able to see us taking you through the 4 p.m. and the final series at 7. Hope to give a little bit of information around how the reveal season will work for the new cards as well. And a little bit of info that we're allowed to share we will do on Sunday as well.
Amazing.
It will be. First series here, second on your channel.
Yes. Lots of things happening tomorrow. You guys go take rest, you know. Think about who your favorite person is, like who your favorite champion is for the mid-season.
Yeah.
We will see you tomorrow.
We will.
Who are we sending you off to?
Let's take a look, shall we? So, we could go over to... I mean, Mya-Mon is live, has been casting as well, but they may also be about to be done, possibly.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, because they've obviously will have been live and playing through most of the day, I would wager.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Okay. We could go...
Let's see if chat has an idea.
Yeah,
maybe.
any suggestions on where we head to, my friends? And again, thank you for being here. I know a few of you have followed over the course of the day. It's greatly appreciated. At the end of tomorrow, we will also be announcing the dates for our next community tournament. If you're interested, jump in the Discord and join. It's always a lot of fun. We have great prizes, whether that's Lionheart merch, whether it's like gifted subs. Million Pugs as well, who have much improved the availability of things. PlayStation Store vouchers, Xbox vouchers, even Twitch credit as well if you're in the right part of the world. So yeah, lots there.
We could rate Reamcat, who is actually playing Gwent.
Oh yeah, a newer player, Reamcat. So
let's do that,
shall we?
We're rating them. You
K?
guys, Reamcat.
Yeah. So we're gonna go over there.
Love you guys. Thank you so much for joining in the casting. It was fun as well. I'll see you tomorrow.
We will, and we hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And we will be back. If you've got any questions or you're curious, make sure to jump in Discord. And thank you for having us, as always. Love you all. When we get over to Reamcat's channel, let's show them some love. They're newer to Gwent. I think they've played card games before, but let's show lots of love and go over there. Bye. My friends, see you soon. Bye.